Hello everyone, welcome to the Economy Primer series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's topic is the economics of animal rearing. Before moving to the points of discussion, first of all we should know this fact that India is a country which has the largest livestock population and it is also the largest producer of the milk. So in that sense, India has an upper hand in terms of the animal rearing and also the livestock production. So moving towards the points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss that why this topic is into the discussion. Then what is animal livestock rearing? We'll have a brief intro about this topic. Then what is animal census? So we'll have a latest data about the animal census and then contribution of livestock in the Indian economy. And then we are going to study the industry scenario regarding this. Challenges, that what are the challenges in terms of the livestock population, in terms of the livestock rearing and other production factor, government initiative regarding the livestock rearing and other things, practice question for prelims and mains. So moving towards the discussion part. So we have taken few cutouts of the newspaper. The first cutout says that livestock bill creation and withdrawal shows government disregard to farmers' livelihood. So recently the government has taken back the livestock bill creation, and which has created lots of controversy, and so many Kisan unions had opposed it. So many experts have said that this is not a good step by the government. They are not thinking about the farmers which are associated with the animal rearing and livestock production. Then center to depute national level monitor to oversee the livestock schemes. So we have a different livestock schemes in our country. So center is paying attention to that. Climate stress is trampling productivity in India's vulnerable livestock sector. So how climate change is affecting the livestock population and how it is impacting the livelihood of the different livestock. So we are also going to discuss government set to unveil 28 new native livestock breeds. So what all these news says that? So all these news says that the livestock topic is important part of the Indian economy and they had an important impact on Indian economy. So that's why we have chosen this topic, that how they change the different dynamics of the economy. So moving towards the introduction part, which is what is animal and livestock rearing. So it is associated with the agriculture, and so many farmers who are doing agriculture in the field, they also rear and keep animals at their home. So together they do two kinds of the work. They also work on the field and they also work on the home with the livestock, and sometimes we have seen that the livestock population is also helping farmers into their fields. So in that sense they are interconnected, and India is the highest livestock owner of the world. We already had discussed in the intro part, and India is the alone contributor of nearly 25.6% the value of output. So we can sense that how much India's contribution is important to the world economy in terms of the livestock. So moving towards the next slide. Next slide is about the livestock census or animal census. So the data has been from the 2019 because this is the latest data we have for now. So what all these data says? So when coming to the cattle, so here it has been written in number of millions. So this PDF will be available on Telegram channel, which is Economy Primer. So kindly search from there. So you can have a better idea about the terms of data. So here this is the cattle. So when it comes to the millions, so they are 192.49 million in numbers and they are second in number. So when it comes to the cattle, we are second in number of from the whole world. Then buffalo also we are first in number, and when we will include mithun and yak together, then together they consist 302.79 millions and we are first in number. Similarly we have sheep, then we are first in number, third in number in terms of sheep, then goats second, then poultry also we are seventh in number. So the total poultry production we are seventh in number, duck fifth, camel 10th. So what all these data shows that we are very good in terms of the livestock rearing, and in many arena we are first in numbers. So this thing is very much important from India's economy, and India can use this as a biggest tool for the development of its economy, because we are the country which has a very agricultural population and so many population are engaged into such kind of activities. So we can use it as a best opportunity to expand our economy. When it comes to the agriculture products or livestock products, so here we come to the milk. So we already know that we are first in terms of the milk production, and quantity wise it is 176.30. Then eggs we are third. Then for in terms of fish we are second. So this is the latest data which has been produced in 2019. So maybe the dynamics has been changed, but the data which is available for now, we are discussing that data. So in terms of production also we are improving a lot, and we are doing good in this thing. Moving to the next slide, which is about poultry. So we have a different industry scenarios for this animal rearing. So when it comes to the poultry, we have three things. So here we will discuss about the poultry, and the total egg production in the country is 129.60 billion in numbers in the year 21-22, and the per capita availability is 95 eggs, and the egg production has increased compared to the previous year. So we can see that we are also improving into this direction, and the top 5 egg producer states are Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, West Bengal, Karnataka. So what here it shows that most of the states belong to the southern part of the country. So we need to improve the poultry industry in the northern part also, in the eastern part also, because we are the consumers in all over the country. So we have to improve into this direction also. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about the meat. So India ranks 8th in the world. So in 2019 the data was not available of the wheat, but India ranks 8th in the number, and this thing has been taken from the Invest India website. And the total meat production in the country is 9.29 MT in the year 21-22, and it has also increased by 5.62% in compared to the last year. So what we have seen that in terms of egg also we have increased, and in terms of meat also we have increased, and the per capita ability is the 6.5 kg per annum. And last time right now we have 6.82 kg per annum, but last time we have 6.52 kg per annum. So we can see that here is also a positive trend which has been followed, and nearly 51.44 meat production is contributed by the poultries, whereas buffalo, goat, sheep, pig and cattle contribute 17.49%. So what we have seen that most of the meat produced by which kind of the animals? So we have this buffalo, goat, sheep, pig and cattle, and among them also buffalo has the highest contribution, and goat also has a 13.6.3 contribution. So we can see that how much we are contributing to the meat production also, and the top 5 meat producing states are Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So what we can see here that in this thing we can see the diversity, that across all the country we can see the name of the country, like we have Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, but in terms of eggs most of the southern states are active. So we have to expand our ways to the northern and eastern part also. Moving to the animal feed. So in terms of the animal feed we are also growing, and it grew by 3.5% in the last 5 years, and there is an expectation that it will reach about $19.23 billion by 2028, exhibiting a CAGR of 8.2. And here they both are growing, like cattle and poultry feeds, they both are growing by 15% and 8 to 9%. So cattle is growing by 15% and this poultry is growing by 8 to 9%. And they mainly comprise, so what they comprise, jowar, millets and their cakes, mustard. So these are the considered as important animal feeds. So in this direction also we can see the positive trends. So when it comes to the industry scenario, let it be the meat, let it be the animal feed and the poultry also, all these 3 industries are growing in a positive way. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about contribution. So what is the contribution of animal animal rearing and livestock production? So when it comes to the food, then livestock provide food items such as milk, meat, eggs for human consumption. We already know that they are the important source for these kind of the food production, and they are producing about 176.3 million tons of milk in a year, and their value has been also increased, which is 31.25% of the total output. So we can see that they are the constant source of the food also. Similarly, when it comes to the other sectors such as the fiber and skins, as it says that the animals also serves even after deaths, and we can use their leather for our shoes, for our bags, for our belts, and for different products. So in terms of leather, they are the most important source, and they also provide wool, hair, hides, and pelts. And India is producing about 441.5 million kg of wool. So here we can see that we have a huge livestock population, but when it comes to the wool production, we are not improving much into this direction. When it comes to the draft, so bullocks are the backbone of the Indian agriculture, and today we have grown by technology, and we can have tractor and so many other things for the irrigation, but still there are few people, there are few families who are still dependent on the buffalo, especially in the rural India. And recently we have also seen that so many people are still using bulls as their irrigation material. So in that sense, they are also work as a draft. Coming to the dung and other animal waste material, so their waste can be also used as an important part of the economy by biogas, dung cakes, and it can be also used as a manure. So in that way, they had a huge contribution in terms of the food, in terms of the fiber, in terms of the fuel, in terms of the draft. So in that say, these are the great contribution made by the livestock population of the country. Moving towards the next slide. Next slide is about key to poverty reduction strategy. So how they reduce poverty in our country. So especially when it comes to the small and marginal farmers, they serve as a largest source of income for them, and especially for the women also, because most of the time we have seen that women are mostly indulged in rearing the animals, especially the goat, cows, buffaloes. So they are also empowering women, because the women sell their products just like ghee, milk, curd, and cow dung cakes in the rural area. So that provide them money. So in that sense also they are economically empowering the women, and then they are faster than many other sectors of agricultures. And when it comes that there will be the doubling of our income, so in that doubling sense, the government has enlisted that livestock economy is the 7th largest economy. So by this way also we can double our farmers income. So these are the key to increase more wealth towards the farmers and more sustainability in terms of the farmers life. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about what are the government initiatives we have. So the first is that Rashtriya Gokul Mission, National Livestock Mission, National Artificial Insemination Program, National Cattle and Buffalo Breeding Project, Animal Husbandry Startup, 𝐸-𝐻𝐒 Heart Portals. So what all these initiatives says that government is paying keen attention towards the development of livestock population, and they are launching various programs such as insemination program, because most of the time the animals could not conceive naturally, and with the help of this insemination program they can conceive easily. And then government is also supporting the local breeds which are locally available in this country, so that there will be the more production by leather, by the eggs, by different kind of the things. But what we have seen that most of these schemes are related to the cattle, buffalo, but we have to be also careful for the poultry and other areas associated with the animal stocks. So in that sense, the government of India needs to work, and there are also inactive ways of introducing such kind of program, just like insemination program. We don't have much ability of the vets in our country, so we need to increase more number of the vet doctors. So in that sense, we have to also be very careful. On the other hand, we have a very good initiative just like 𝐸-𝐻𝐒 Heart Portal, and online you can do trading, and so many things are available for their development, for the exchange, and you can also sell your products online. So in that sense, government is promoting various indigenous breeds and also their products to the all over the world. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about what are the challenges we have. So when we are discussing about the initiatives, we already had discussed that we have a certain challenges, just like whatever the insemination program government has introduced, it is not effective in nature, because many vets are not technologically sound, they are not much capable, and sometimes they don't identify that what's the problem any particular animal is facing. So in that sense, we have to appoint a very good experts related to the animal disease, related to their fertility, related to their other things. On the other hand, we had also inadequate support for paravets of supply of liquid nitrogen, frozen semen and healthcare. So we have various vet doctors, but what we have seen that they also lack certain resources which are required for the good health of the livestock, just like the nitrogen, frozen semen, healthcare and technical guidance. So we need such kind of support from the government. And then there is also shortage of fodder resources. As you have seen that we are increasing in a positive direction when it comes to the animal feed, but there is a still scarcity of the fodder resources, and many animals are not getting resources and food according to their needs. So this is also one of the drawback. And then absence of field oriented conservation strategy. So we have seen that many animals are roaming on the roads from here and there, and when they lost their fertility period, then the people left them at their the roads, and they are not any administered by anyone. So in that sense, we need to have a proper kind of development so that their lives could be saved, and we can increase more economy from their leather and everything, whatever they can do at their last stage of life. And then poor quality of semen also. So we have this insemination program, but whatever the semen is provided to the doctors, they are very poor quality in nature, so they are not much fertile. And then breeding bulls also, we have non ability of the superior quality of the breeding bulls. So here what we have to see that, you know, the central government and the state government has come together to implement various initiatives, and they need to understand the different kind of livestock problems to the different areas, because every area had a different kind of livestock population, and we need to identify population accordingly, and then we need to launch schemes accordingly. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about practice question for prelims, and the question is, which of the following factors is not a significant consideration in sustainable livestock rearing practices? So as we all know that we are moving to a sustainable world, and in that world sustainable development is very much needed, and we are also doing in terms of agriculture. So in livestock also we have to be focused towards the livestock sustainability, and here are your options: feed management, genetic improvement, intensive antibiotic use, disease control. So kindly answer in the comment section. Moving to the main slide, which is livestock rearing plays a crucial role in the agrarian landscape of India. Discuss the significance of livestock in Indian economy and rural livelihoods. So first what you have to do, that you have to give background about the livestock, that we are first in milk production, then second in fish, eighth in meat, second in cattle, first in buffalo. So what all these data shows is, so all these data shows that we are improving and we have a very good resources of livestock, but that are not translated to the economy part, because we have discussed various challenges, because we don't have much resources, fodder resources, we don't have much technological guidance in terms of the animal diseases, in terms of their fertility, we don't have much awareness about the genital problems which animals are facing, we don't have much knowledge about their diseases. So these are the loopholes we have in terms of this livestock population. On the other hand, we have to keep them as their own, because many times we have seen that when they lose their fertility age, when they are useless in terms of few people, they are left at their roads. So we need to respect and we need to also preserve all those animals, because we could not leave them at road. In some way they are also useful to us, so we have to extract resources from those animals also. And then we have to use all these resources, and we are top in the milk production, and in meat production we are 8th, though we have a largest buffalo production population, we have second largest cattle population, and despite we are 8th in the meat production. So we need to work on that, because we are becoming first and second in various things, but when it comes to the production we are 8th or 9th. So we have to be more careful towards the production and productivity part. So that's it for today's lecture. If you have any query related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.